Good morning. We have been learning about grammar, the rules of English language. In this class, we'll be learning about prefixes, suffixes, coordinating conjunction, subordinating conjunction, and American equivalent of few English words. Let's start the class learning about prefixes. So, prefixes are one or two syllable additions at the beginning of a word or base that changes its meaning but do not change its parts of speech. I will explain this with some examples. Let's take the prefix mid. The prefix mid means middle. So when you add it to a word night, it becomes midnight, middle of the night. When it added to point, it becomes midpoint. When you add it to the word way, it becomes midway. Note that mid is an one syllable prefix. Let's take an example for a two syllable prefix. Micro. Can you see the syllable? Micro. So this is an two syllable prefix. So micro means small or tiny. So when you add this prefix micro to a word organism, it becomes microorganism. It's a small or tiny organism. When you add it to scope, it becomes microscope. When you look at these words, you can see that the parts of the speech, if it is noun, it stays as noun even after adding the prefix. If it is a verb, it stays as verb even after adding the prefix. I'll give you some more examples. Defrost, uncover, non-stop, tricycle. Here, the prefixes are de, un, non, and tri. And each of these prefixes have their meanings. So de means degrees, un and non means not, and tri means 3. So when you add these prefixes to the word frost, cover, stop, and cycle, they create a new word, but the parts of speech remains the same. Then what is suffix? A suffix is an ending added to a word which usually changes the parts of the speech of the word or base and may also change the meaning of the word. I'll explain this with some examples. Let's look at the suffix able. Able means capable of being. So when you add able to the word prevent, it becomes preventable. When you add it to adapt, it becomes adaptable. So he is capable of adapting. Predict, predictable. It can be predicted. Let's look at another suffix, ious or ous. It means having qualities of. So when you add these ious or ous with the word grace, it becomes gracious. With the word caution, it becomes cautious. With the word humor, it becomes humorous. Note that these are adjective suffixes. So I'll give you some more words. Frosted, covered, stopped, cycling. So these are words that are formed by adding the suffix ed and ing. I'll give you a word and I want you to find out whether it has a prefix or suffix attached to it. Counterclockwise. Can you find the prefix or suffix here? Here, clock is the word, counter is the prefix, and wise is the suffix. Okay, I'll give you another word. Repainted. Can you guess the prefix or suffix in this word? Yes, the base word is paint, prefix here is re, and the suffix is ed. So let us do an exercise on prefix and suffix. Section A. Fill in the blanks with the correct form of the word in the brackets. Use the prefixes in the box. So there are 5 questions. Let's see the first one. Question number 1. Please don't, in the brackets, understand me. So which of the prefix will aptly complete this word? It is miss. Please don't misunderstand me. Question number 2. The teacher taught us about animals that live in the brackets water. It is underwater. Question number 3. I cannot, in brackets, lock the door with this key. So it is I cannot unlock the door with this key. Question number 4. We should never, the brackets, obey our parents. We should never disobey our parents. Question number 5. Finishing this project is just, in the brackets, possible. Finishing this project is just impossible. Now, let's look at section B. Fill in the blanks with the correct form of the word in the brackets. Use the suffixes in the box. Question number 1. The children laughed, in the brackets, loud. So it can be changed to loudly. Question number 2. There is a, in the brackets, pass separating the two rooms. There is a passage separating the two rooms. Question number 3. Are you, in the brackets, comfort in your new shoes? It can be written as, are you comfortable in your new shoes? Question number 4. The king ruled his, in the brackets, king wisely. It can be rewritten as, the king ruled his kingdom wisely. Question number 5. Gargi should be more, in the brackets, respect towards her elders. It can be rewritten as, Gargi should be more respectful towards her elders. Now, let's move to the next section, American equivalence. What is American equivalence? English emerged from the dialects and vocabulary of Germanic people who settled in Britain in 5th CE. English has gone through so many changes, and the language is influenced by different cultures and religions. Today, English is spoken by more than 1/3 of the world population. That is more than 2 billion people. America has the highest English-speaking population in the world. It is about 316 million, whereas United Kingdom, the birthplace of English, has around 62 million people speaking English according to their 2011 census. So as language evolved in these countries, some words are not only spelled different, like color and honor, where the Americans drop the U, but also takes a different form in British and American English. I want you to look up your dictionary and find out the American equivalent word for the following words. Let's start doing it. Aerial, bill, flat, as in a house, crisp, tin, biscuit, sweets, lorry. The American equivalent of these words are, for aerial, it is antenna. For bill, it is check. For flat, it is apartment. For crisp, it is chips. For tin, it is can. For biscuit, it is cookie. For sweets, it is candies. And for lorry, it is truck. That's totally different words, right? So as Oxford Dictionary blog puts it, a British biscuit is an American cookie, and an American cookie is a British cookie, and an American biscuit is a British scone, and an American scone is something else entirely. Simple. That was super weird, right? Now, let's move on to the next grammar topic, conjunction. Conjunction is a word which merely joins together sentences and sometimes words. Conjunctions are divided into two clauses, coordinating and subordinating conjunction. So what is a coordinating conjunction? A coordinating conjunction joins together clauses of equal ranks or importance. Clauses? What's a clause? It is a group of words which forms part of a sentence and contains subject and predicate. Remember phrase and clause? I'll give you an example for coordinating conjunction. Birds fly and fish swim. Here there are two independent sentences. Birds fly is the first sentence which has the subject birds and predicate fly. Fish swim is the second sentence, which has the subject fish and predicate swim. And these two sentences carry equal importance and are connected by the conjunction and. I'll give you widely used 7 coordinating conjunctions, and you can remember them using the mnemonic fanboys. So F stands for, A stands for and, N stands for nor, B stands for but, O stands for or, Y stands for it, and S stands for so. Let us examine the following sentence. Walt Disney was an American film producer. He was a pioneer of cartoon films. You can join these two sentences using the conjunction and it can be rewritten as Walt Disney was an American film producer and pioneer of cartoon films. So let us do some practice questions from section A to better understand this. So there are 8 questions. I'll do 5 of them and the remaining you have to do on your own. Join the sentences using coordinating conjunction. Question number 1. He often traded his drawing for haircuts. He sold his painting to his neighbors. This sentence can be rewritten with the conjunction and. So it can be rewritten as he often traded his drawings for haircuts and sold his paintings to his neighbors. Question number 2. Walt Disney's first cartoons weren't very successful. He kept trying. So this can be rewritten with the conjunction but. Walt Disney's first cartoon weren't very successful, but he kept trying. Question number 3. When Walt Disney told a story, nobody said a word. Nobody was bored. This can be rewritten with the conjunction for. So how do we write it? When Walt Disney told a story, nobody said a word. For nobody was bored. Question number 4. He decided he wanted to start his own animation business. He acquired a studio. This can be rewritten with the conjunction so. He decided he wanted to start his own animation business. So he acquired a studio. Question number 5. Walt Disney wanted to build a bigger theme park in Florida. He died before it was completed. So this can be rewritten as Walt Disney wanted to build a bigger theme park in Florida, but he died before it was completed. So likewise, you can do the rest of the exercise. Now let's look at the next class, subordinating conjunction. So what is a subordinating conjunction? A subordinating conjunction joins a class to another on which it depends for its full meaning. It joins a dependent class onto an independent clause. Okay, for example, I read the paper because it interests me. Here, I read the paper is an independent clause. But the clause it interests me is dependent on the other part because it doesn't give a full meaning. Hence, the conjunction because is used to connect the two clauses. I read the paper because it interests me. You can remember some of the widely used subordinating conjunction with the mnemonic a white bus. Although, whenever, however, if, though, even if, because, unless, since. A white bus. Let's look at this with an example. When Walt Disney returned from France in 1919, he moved to Kansas to pursue a career as a newspaper artist. In this sentence, the part he moved to Kansas to pursue a career as a newspaper artist conveys a complete thought and has a subject and a verb. However, when Walt Disney returned from France in 1919, does not convey a complete thought and depends on the other part to make complete sense. And notice that we can put the dependent part before or after the main part and without any change in the meaning of the sentence. So this sentence can also be rewritten as Walt Disney moved to Kansas to pursue a career as a newspaper artist when he returned from France in 1919. So the next section is the listening section. You must listen to the audio clip in your ebook and complete the given sentences. We have come to the end of the class. Please write down the answers in your notebook and submit them along with your assignments. It was good to share the class with you all. Let us meet in the next class and explore more. Till then, adios.